Hi everyone, welcome to Troopel.com. I'm Ashwarya. Have you checked the story of Mango Man on our channel? Not yet? Go and check. That amazing man has grown varieties of mangoes in a single branch. And today my story is about a brand, Lijjat Papad. The story of Lijjat, Lijjat meaning tasty in Gujarati, is one of rags to riches propelled by the need to make a living by focusing on strengths and core values rather than the intent of getting rich. And when hard work and determination are action, success is bound to follow. So here is the story of how Lijjat Papad became a successful cooperative employing 45,000 women and grew from rupees 80 to rupees 1600 crore. Lijjat was the brainchild of 7 Gujarati women from Bombay who wanted to start a venture to create a sustainable livelihood using the only skill they had, and that is cooking. The women borrowed rupees 80 from Chhaganlal Karamsi Parekh, a member of the Servants of India Society and a social worker. They took over a loss-making papad making venture and bought the necessary ingredients and the basic infrastructure required to manufacture papads. And what resulted was a historic company established and run by women for the empowerment of determined and dedicated women. On 15 March 1959, on a warm summer day, with the sun shining brightly in the cloudless sky, they gathered on the terrace of their building and started with the production of 4 packets of papads. They started selling the papads to known merchant in Bhuleshwar, a popular market in Mumbai. The early days were not that easy. The institution had its trials and tribulation. The faith and patience of the members were put to test on several occasions. Self-reliance was the policy and no monetary help was to be sought, that is, not even voluntarily offered donations. So work started on commercial footing. Chhaganlal Parekh, popularly known as Chhaganlal Bapa, became their guide. Initially, the women were making 2 different qualities of papads to sell the inferior, one at a cheap price. Chhagan Bapa advised them to make a standard papad and asked them never to compromise on quality. He emphasized to them the importance of running it as a business enterprise and maintaining proper accounts. Lijjat expanded as a cooperative system. Initially, even younger girls could join, but later 18 was fixed as a minimum age of entry. Within just 3 months, there were about 25 women making papads. Soon, the women bought some equipment for the business like utensils, cupboards, stoves, etc. In the first 5, the organization's annual sales were rupees 6,196. The broken papads were distributed among neighbors. During the first year, the women had to stop production for 4 months during the rainy season as the rains would prevent the drying of the papads. The next year, they solved this problem by buying a cot and a stove. The papads were kept on the cot and the stove below the cot so that the process of drying could take place in spite of the rains. The group got considerable publicity through word of mouth and articles in vernacular newspapers. This publicity helped it increase its membership. By the second year of its formation, 100 to 150 women had joined the group, and by the end of third year, it had more than 300 members. By this time, the terrace of 7 founders could no longer accommodate the members and the ingredients. So they needed flour for distributed among the members who would take it to their homes and make papads. The papads were brought back for weighting and packaging. In 1962, the name Lijjat, which I told you that it calls tasty in Gujarati, was chosen by the group for its productions. The organization was named Shri Mahila Griha Udyog Lijjat Papad. Thereafter, they never looked back. In the 1980s and 1990s, Lijjat started attracting attention of foreign visitors and officials. Lijjat started exporting its products with the help of merchant importers in the United Kingdom, the United States, the Middle East, Singapore, the Netherlands, Thailand, and other countries. Started in 1959 by 7 women in Mumbai with a seed capital of only 80 rupees. It had an annual turnover more than rupees 1600 crore now. And now it's providing employment to 45,000 women across the country. So if you like the story, like our page, subscribe our page. We'll come back soon with another success story.